The BS Report is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects.
First of all,
This is the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
it might be cool, I don't know. And if it's not, I don't
The
care.
BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons works for ESPN. He's also named the Sports Guy, and he writes a comical sports column. He must be a popular dude.
The BS Report.
It's got a real dirty sound, like a rusty steak knife cutting through a well-aged steak.
Now.
Here's Bill Simmons.
Welcome to the BS Report. We are live from New Orleans, here with Cousin Sal.
Great
Rembert
to be
Browne
here.
from Grantland. We just had the worst lunch I think I've ever had in my life. We are ready to roll. If we have food poisoning during this podcast, I think we keep going.
Yeah, we have to.
Well, I didn't eat it, so I'm good. I'll just pick it up.
I think just by being near it, you might have.
Yeah, I mean,
gotten food poisoning.
I'm not great, but
Secondhand food poisoning has
Yeah.
knocked out a lot of people.
I've never seen. First of all, I've never had lobster that had that much poop on it ever. So
Really?
much
It
poop.
was
It almost
horrible.
was like they dipped it into the poop, which I don't know how they did with the shell on it.
Yeah.
also the butter congealed to a
The butter
solid
congealed.
form.
Yeah, the butter
About 4
congealed.
minutes.
Went from being hot butter to being like a butter jelly,
Yeah.
which I'd never seen
The
before.
lobster had been dead for days or weeks and it's still crapping. It didn't stop.
It was still pooping.
I don't know how they do that.
And
Four
the
stars.
shrimp.
4 stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Jacoby's fault. We were on
always
like
is.
what were we, the Riverwalk?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right
But
there.
I've also had some fantastic meals here. Unfortunately, Sal just got here and he hasn't been part of anything.
No for one.
But yeah, no, we had some good ones. Rembert and I have been here for.
This is
Yeah,
like
how many
my-
days you been here?
It's like my 80th hour here.
80th
And
hour.
I don't know where home is.
I've been here since Tuesday.
You guys have been here since like week 6.
We've somehow ended up at the casino both nights.
Yeah. 2 for 2.
Two
Since
for
you've
two.
been here.
I'd like to think I was 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Gave Harris a lot of my money.
You're in a bad blackjack streak, right? I heard.
I'm in a bad blackjack shit, and I'm really starting to wonder, like, what do I do? Do I have like an exorcism?
Maybe you should
Has there
stop.
been a gambling exorcism?
No, I would have known about it. Yeah. Yeah. They need to invent a new game.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me.
No, it's not you because this has been going on for a year and a half.
All right, well, it's not me.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to stop getting 12s and 13s. I try to sit in different seats. I try different dealers.
And then finding more money once those
Just
that money
12s
runs out.
and 13s keep coming.
A lot of people find if they eat shellfish, it's covered with fecal matter. It changes their luck completely. So.
We were at this place called the Crazy Lobster, which I do not recommend.
We're already throwing
Sorry, Crazy
not
Lobster
recommend-
PR team.
I'm sorry, I
but
don't
it's
recommend
over.
it.
It's over for you.
And they had a bucket.
Yeah.
It was like $49.99. It was a bucket, had all this stuff in it: lobster, crab.
Poop.
What else was in it? Poop. With sausage, potatoes.
Well, it's always good. They bring the bucket to you, like, yeah, we're going to show you what it looks like, and they bring it to you, and it's obviously something it has not been cooked.
They haven't cooked it yet.
Yeah,
Yes,
Right.
it's
like
like
a-
appetizer.
It's like a still life. It's
Yeah.
right.
And when they cook that, that'll look nice, and it just seems like they never cooked it. I think they just brought the same bucket back twice.
Yeah, he looked to make sure we were looking, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
just kind of changed it around. But all right, so let's talk about the game.
Oh, there's a game. That's
There's a
right.
game on Sunday.
Yeah.
The Niners against the Ravens. Rembert, we'll start with you. The
right.
Falcons came very close.
Very close.
And you were walking around the city. We were walking around on Tuesday night. You can see the Ravens helmets and the Niners helmet, the logos, and
Yeah, that, I was in a
players walking
vulnerable place.
around, and just it could have been so great.
Yeah, I mean that's what I told you. I was feeling super vulnerable because I just envisioned a world about a week ago where it was like Tony Gonzalez painted all over New Orleans or Matt Ryan, and because I knew I was coming to New Orleans, I expected that to happen and build up this world where that was going to be what happened. Now I'm here, and it's.
You could cry if you want.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
can do
But it's Michael Crabtree everywhere, and I'm bummed out. I'm happy to see Ravens stuff. I don't mind it. It's just the 49ers stuff that.
Well, there's
It's
like
not
a
sitting
weird.
well
did
with
you know
me.
about? There's like a weird Atlanta versus New Orleans thing.
No, not really.
They're like bitter rivals. Yeah,
Are
it's
they?
like a Yankee. It's like a Boston New York thing.
Huh.
They hate us.
Yeah.
I mean,
They hate you, but you're
we don't
you,
don't care about things enough to hate them.
Right.
back.
You're just you respond with the ambivalence.
Yeah, we're just like, okay. I mean, that's cute. Like
Yeah.
rivalry. Like we don't really. We still kind of consider ourselves the only real big city in the South.
So there would have been like big fights here if Atlanta made the Super Bowl.
Well, I think
right?
for New Orleans fans, between Goodell and then Atlanta being in the Super Bowl, it was like an all-time worst
Yeah.
case scenario for
Yeah.
them.
I mean, also outside of the Falcons being here, my dream was an Atlanta contingency and Baltimore people in New Orleans. Like, those are 3 communities of people that in one city, I think it just would, like, the National Guard would have been here. It would have.
You said it had Freaknik potential.
I'm on record saying it had Freaknik potential. Freaknik 93 through 96 potential.
Freaknik no longer exists.
it
So it
would
would have been interesting to bring it back.
It could have been the last Super Bowl.
That's it. It would have been over.
But I would have been here for it. I would have told my kids I was at the last Super Bowl.
Well, what's weird is everybody thought it was going to be this really hot ticket because it was New Orleans, because there's more media here. There's like 5 times as many media as the last time. San Francisco, a lot of money from there. You have like, they haven't been in the Super Bowl since '94. So people thought, it'd be really hard to get tickets and hotel rooms.
Yeah.
They jacked the hotel rooms up, and now it's really easy to get tickets. The ticket prices are dropping every day, and people didn't come. Yeah. So, I mean, some people are here, but I don't think it was nearly the crowd that they expected. So you're much more likely to see a media member than a real person, it seems like.
Also, I think the Super Bowl splitting Mardi Gras in half kind of is like a weird thing, because I think a lot of they had parades and stuff before, like last weekend, and I think a lot of the native New Orleans contingent is just like taking a break before they get back into Mardi Gras.
How much partying can we do?
Yeah, so that's a weird thing also.
The best meal we had was at Coop's.
Yes, Coop's, a good restaurant.
You've been there like 3 times.
The Crazy Lobster.
Coop's was good.
Yeah.
And the guy said to us, "Did you guys come here because of the Times article?" And we were like, "No, what are you talking about?" He was in the New York Times because they had a picture of Roger Goodell, and it said like, "Do not serve this man." It was like a wanted poster.
Right?
Yeah. Because in a lot of the restaurants have put the picture in the front door. That's how
there is a prop bet out there and how many boogers end up in the salads of Roger Goodell this weekend.
Yeah. It's over 29.5, right?
It's up to 31.5 because people are betting it. Yeah.
Do you think every time he gets food, he makes somebody taste it first? The assistant commissioner.
This could be my last.
Yeah.
I would not recommend he goes to the Crazy Lobster.
No, we do want him to go there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else they could do to contaminate the food.
They wouldn't have to know about
us.
it. Yeah,
it wouldn't be bad if we went there.
They'd mess around and give him like the most delicious dish ever.
So, Baltimore versus San Francisco. Sal, you're an objective observer here. I'm bitter because the Patriots didn't make it. Yeah. He's bitter because the Falcons didn't make it.
Not objective.
You're always bitter because the Cowboys never make it.
No,
is this a good Super Bowl?
I think it is. I don't know why I feel this way, but I think the Niners are going to kill them. First of all, I think we're due for a bad game. Anyone who's under 30 thinks that all the Super Bowls are great.
When was the last bad Super Bowl? Was it Indianapolis, Chicago?
I guess so. And even
that wasn't really that close, but even that one
the
was
Bears
semi-close.
went ahead. The Bears were up, 7-0.
Peyton didn't play that well in that game.
No, but it's been a while. I just think and I know we should take it by how the teams have been playing lately, but I think about 80 or 90% of the year, San Francisco is the better team of these two.
No question.
And
that's true.
I think the 2 weeks off, oddly enough, I think it'll hurt the Ravens, even though they're older. I think they were playing with such momentum.
But they were in a groove.
Yeah. Right. And I don't know.
How does it affect their performance-enhancing drug cycles?
Oh.
It's a fair statement. One of their best players was involved in the PED scandal this week.
Allegedly.
We're not allowed to talk about that?
You think it's going to matter? Do you think that matters?
I
right?
do.
Deer antler spray?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't have that?
Who thinks of using deer antler spray?
No.
Who doesn't think of that?
But who was the first guy who said, "You know what? I bet has some good stuff in it. Deer antlers."
Yeah. Right.
What if we can figure out how to take this somehow?
Yeah.
I always want to know.
That's
a Kevin Wildes thing. But
I don't know if it matters. I do think they're a little slow of foot, the Ravens.
Can we all agree it's absolutely ridiculous that Ray Lewis came back from a torn tricep in 10 weeks?
Yeah.
That it's not realistic under any circumstances? Why is it a bad thing for the media to talk about this?
No, I know. Well, why don't they ask him straight up? How did you do this? Honestly.
Everybody else who's had this injury is out for the year, and you came back in 10 weeks.
You're not to answer. God is not to figure it at all into your answer. Yeah. How the hell did you come back after 10?
Are we? When we've talked about this, about my still naive feelings of inspirational stories, and how that drives all of my opinions on everything.
Yes.
So are we supposed to just Ray Lewis cannot come back from this? It's just impossible. It's not because he's a world-class athlete and it's one of the athletes of our generation. It's just, he can't do it. Because I'm still there's somewhere in my mind, I'm still in the mindset that if anyone could do it, he could do it. But,
See,
maybe
for me,
that's
Peterson comes back, definitely way ahead of the timetable, but it was realistically ahead.
Yeah.
Like with the advancements we have in science now, he's young. I just think, all right, that makes sense, man. At some point, the recovery time is going to get shorter and shorter. I can see this. But if you're in your late 30s and you have an injury that for everybody else it ends their season and you're somehow playing with it, I don't understand how that happens. And I think the media really stuck their head in the sands as this was going on. I'm like, wow, that's incredible. He came back. It's like, is it incredible, or is it like, how many times do we have to go down this road? So when he landed in this whole thing on Tuesday, it was like, I mean, nobody can say they were surprised, right? Was there anybody who was like, oh my God, I can't believe it?
I think the fact that he didn't blow up like we expected him to at media day about it, he sort of played it cool, right?
Yeah. It was. I was there. It was like the most relaxed, like, because everyone was waiting.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like the fourth question.
Right.
So like, once it actually happened, there was like this gasp, like, what's he gonna say? And he just handled it super relaxed.
He addressed it and blew it off at the same time.
Yeah.
He was like, come on, guys.
I mean, he's handling it perfect on his end. I think. He's handling it.
I don't like
perfectly.
distractions with the Super Bowl. I think it's always bad
You
for
think
the
that's
team.
a distraction?
Yeah, because all you want is a team that's just locked in on, we're playing this team and here's how to beat them, and that's what I'm thinking about. And all of a sudden you start bringing these other elements into it.
If he just nails a hooker in the next 2 days, everyone will forget about this antler spray crap. Use your head, right?
I remember with the Pats against the Giants, it was just Spygate that whole time.
Yeah.
Because it had already happened, it died down, then it came back up, blah, 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 and it definitely affected that team.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I know you hate Goodell, but why shouldn't you have a statue of him on your lawn after burning? He burned those Pats tapes. Shouldn't he always forever have a pass?
I don't remember the details.
I know you.
What happened again?
But you should turn the other cheek forever with this guy.
What were the details of that whole thing?
We'll take them up. You have the mini iPad. There must be in there.
I remember there were some tapes, and he watched them, and then he didn't want to litter.
That was the story, yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to get rid of stuff.
All right.
Why keep stuff around? It's guys. What is
I
he, a
think
hoarder?
if he saw you face to face, he'd be like, Bill, give me a break.
Come on, dude.
Look at this. Look what I got here. You want this to come out?
I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
Well, I think San Francisco, I'm leaning toward taking them.
There you
Not
go.
positive yet, but
No inspirational, this is Ray's last game. You don't think that's going to...
I think that got them to. I think in the Super Bowl, you don't need inspiration at that point. You're playing like you win the Super Bowl and that's it. I think both teams have equal motivation. I think the motivation mattered in that first Indianapolis game,
Yeah.
which could have been a sneaky kind of loss for them. And instead, that once he announced he was retiring, it seemed like they got locked in, and I felt them taking them. San Francisco also seems like I feel like these are the two right teams to be in the Super Bowl. I think these are the two best teams. Even though Baltimore didn't play that way during the season. But
We discussed this at lunch. You might have been turned away heaving in the corner in the plant.
I was scraping green poop off my fingernails.
But I think San Francisco, like the one thing I hadn't seen from them is their ability to come back when the rookie quarterback and what he did against the Falcons, down 3 scores to bring them back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like everyone's like, oh, is the rookie going to blow it? Like, it doesn't seem like he has to do much even to get back in these games, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be all right.
Playing indoors, I think, is a big help. I do wonder, though, I think these young quarterbacks, the big spotlight, the adrenaline, you saw Kaepernick in that Green Bay game, wasn't very good for the first 10 minutes or so. Russell Wilson was the same way in both playoff games, or in one playoff game. Then Kaepernick in the Atlanta game, he didn't start out great. So that's when I feel like Baltimore could get him. That first quarter, like, just Flacco throws a couple deep ones.
They may have to.
I've been thinking a lot about the Patriots and what's gone wrong these last few years. You can make your Spygate joke, how we have
No,
one
I already
since
made it.
but I do think they've changed what the team was from when we won the 3 Super Bowls. And now it's this precision, short passing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works in the playoffs. Like, that's the one thing where I look at Baltimore and I think, like, they can just throw the ball downfield and make these big plays. And maybe that's what you have to be now in 2013.
It's so funny. It always used to be January football's ground and pound, and if you can control that, you win. But you do need the deep threat. If Gronkowski was out, he was your only deep threat. And, if you take 15 plays to score, something screwed up is going to happen.
Year after year, we have this precision offense that is awesome in the regular season when teams can't prepare for it and whatever. we get to the playoffs, and these teams just beat the crap out of our receivers every time. I use we like I'm on the team.
That's fine.
Short passes, they get pancaked.
Right. All of a sudden, these guys
I think the
aren't
Ravens
completing their routes.
Yeah, the Ravens went in that game like, look, we're going helmet to helmet in this game.
Mm-hmm.
If we have to pay each other's fines, that's fine.
Right.
But anytime these guys catch the ball, that little Welker, we're gonna hit him.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit Hernandez. We're gonna hit Ridley. And they went into that game with that mentality.
Yeah.
Patriots used to be that team.
Yeah.
That was the team I watched in 01, 03, and 04. And now it's like this finesse West Coast team, and I just don't know if that style works.
Maybe the Patriots ran out of deer antler spray.
Maybe we need to start
Maybe they don't
cheating
know
more.
about Maybe deer antler spray hasn't made it up north like that.
I mean, that's the thing. We had our cheating scandal was like, we were taping audibles of the crappy Jets.
Right.
Why didn't we have like an HGH scandal?
That's coming.
We need
Don't
some.
worry.
I need to mail HGH to the defense.
You'll get it, I think.
Any kind of spray. Who do you like in this game?
I like the Ravens. And it's not even not wanting the 49ers to succeed, because part of me wants to, like, you want your team to lose to the best team.
Yeah.
Like, that's some small form of validation, but
Yeah, and you could say you're second best.
yeah, second best, even though that's like, you know, still faulty logic. But I like the Ravens. I have no football-based reasons for why they will win. I just really hope they win.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
We were just walking through the the Riverwalk.
Yeah, I work at the Riverwalk. I was actually going to ask if either you had any like coaching opinions based on like if one of them like where that fits into this game.
The brother thing is, I was reading one of the things
weird.
they talked about.
I didn't
When
even
was the
think
last
about
time you got in
the
a
brother
fight?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, like 2 years ago they were playing in the water, and one
Yeah.
guy held the other guy's head down. I'm like, these guys are in their 50s.
Yeah, they're a little mad.
Who does this? Jim was holding John's head down underwater, and John got mad. He was sore at him. It's like, what?
It would be
These guys
great
have
if the
families.
post-game handshake resulted in a wedgie. Like
Noogie.
Come on, we got a deal. When we were 10, we said if we were ever to beat the other, this would happen. And
That would be the all-time greatest prank, right? If
Yeah.
they staged a fake fight after the game, and then
Yeah.
afterwards they
Incredible.
admitted
Yeah.
whatever. Who do you think the dad has to like one of the kids more, right?
yeah, I think.
I
I think.
like Jim more.
You think Jim?
Yeah.
Because he funded the team, the Western Kentucky thing, or the.
I would say he likes John more.
John seems more
Jim
stable.
seems like he was kind of veered off the path there for a while.
They said every time they moved, it didn't matter because Jim didn't have any friends.
Yeah, he was like outside throwing the ball against the
He's like, whatever.
wall or something.
He should announce who his favorite son is after the game.
Do they have
like
other
to say-
kids?
Yeah, there's a sister, right?
Yeah.
You should have done this on the show. I've always liked the black sheep sibling that's not actually related to the family I've come on.
It's on tonight, so I can't really tell
Oh, you're doing it?
Yeah.
I love that one.
Todd
Who was the
Glass
first
helped
one?
us out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like that guy's like drunk,
Yeah.
angry,
that's-
virulent guy. So Baltimore's favored by 3.5.
No.
I mean, not San
No,
Francisco's
sure,
favored
yeah.
by 3.5.
Yeah.
I guess 6 for
Yeah,
the
I
line.
went a little lower. Yeah. I said 4. I said 4.
Feels like a
4.5
little
or something.
too
I
low.
can't believe it hasn't dropped to 3
Too
with
low,
all
in
the
my
all the
opinion.
Ravens public backing.
Yeah.
I can't find anyone who likes, 1 out of 5 people like the Niners over the Ravens.
Is that true?
I think just you talk to people, doesn't it seem like that?
Seems like a lot of people are on the Ravens.
Is it because
they
that
cannot
was
play
the
nobody
last
believes in
game
us?
last Sunday or whatever? They thoroughly beat the Patriots, and people think maybe the Niners scraped by the Falcons. I think there's a lot of that.
Indoors, though, you would think San Francisco is a better bet.
And what do we
They're
think about
a faster
fans?
team.
Is it going to be 70-30 San Fran
I would say
fans?
many more San Francisco, right?
Really? I don't.
Yeah. You don't think so?
Maybe at the actual game. I feel like I've seen in the streets. I've seen much more Ravens than 49ers.
Raven, like people that came in to root for Baltimore,
Or just
locals?
are in Ravens garb, in some form of Ravens garb. I've seen so far, the first 2 days. Also, and this is like a weird theory, but I think at Media Day, because of the colors, the purple, the shared purple between New Orleans, like that being one of the Mardi Gras colors, and Ravens, like there's more of an allegiance to hop on that side if you have to, even though
See, who said you didn't have a football analysis?
Yeah, this
You're
is-
No, I'm just, you know.
You finally brought it.
You
It took
lower
20
the
minutes.
you lower the expectations.
It's good. I like you brought in colors.
You
It's
coming
pretty
with the
cool.
gym.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that we're at the Bud Light Hotel in downtown New Orleans.
We are.
And
Oh, yeah, we're in New
that's
Orleans.
why there's people. There's like a sound check because they have bands playing tonight, and that's what you hear in the background. If you're listening to this, you're on a treadmill,
Yeah,
or you're in the bathtub.
I think half the
car,
people are
you're
probably
like-
tuning in for the background sound check.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, I think Pitbull just did a sound check.
Really?
Yeah. He's on next. He's gonna take my spot in like 5 minutes.
I like Pitbull.
I don't.
I don't like the music. Let me finish. Let me finish.
You should have said that as he walked by.
Can you
Let me
Photoshop
finish.
my face out?
Let me finish.
I don't want to be part of this.
I'm not defending the music. I like the gimmick that he does, like the crazy hyper gimmick. Anytime he does it, I enjoy
He
it.
does that for you, I think.
And that's all he does. He's just that gimmick. I think it's great that he made a career.
Can we
of it.
ask
I'm proud
Pitbull
of
if he does that for Bill?
We got to
You do
get
that for
someone
Bill,
there
right?
Here's, as far as I can tell, here's Pitbull's success.
Okay.
Really solid name.
Okay, I'll give.
Solid name, bought him some time. And then that super excited dance thing he does when he sings.
Yeah.
And he's parlayed that into like an 8-year career. You give him credit.
He's actually the combination of Ray Lewis and the Harbaugh brothers. Super big name, and he's got the dance. He's what the Super Bowl's all about.
Do the dance. I know you can do it.
I can't do that dance.
So what's the South Pantheon?
I want to make it the number one, and Palantonio, it has me beat by.
What about Sal from The Godfather?
Oh yeah, but is that a real? That's not a real.
Oh, we count
No,
fake sounds.
fictional or real?
Fictional.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sal from The Godfather.
I can't even beat the
Sally
real one.
Nessie, the Colorado quarterback who had sex with his
Right.
coach's daughter, and they had a kid, and then I think he had a tragic whatever. What happened to him? Did he die?
I don't know.
They made a movie out of him.
There's
They
Master
did?
Kayla.
So
Sal
many black
Mascala.
Sals.
Who else? Salvatore Belomo.
Salvatore Belomo's big. Yeah.
Who's the best athlete, Sal?
Sal Bando.
Oh, Sal Bando. That's a good Sal.
Is it third base or catcher? Was he a catcher? Was
That's
Sal
a good
great?
Sal.
Yeah.
So it really hasn't been a good
Sal Magley was a pitcher for the
under
Giants.
30 Sal.
No, I know. Yeah, it's an old name.
Pitbull's real name is Sal.
Oh, come on.
Is that true?
No.
That's
big.
I think Sal could have a comeback as a baby name.
Really?
Well, think about like all the names that are in our kids' classes now.
Yeah.
All these names that never would have been names when
Like what? I have no idea.
Ella and Maud and Ava
Right.
and all these names. Like when we were growing up, the kids were named Jenny and John
Yeah.
and
Those are all my great aunts' names. You just
Kristen.
Those are all 80-year-old women's names.
yeah,
You
yeah.
never saw
That's
your name
what's
on
in
the
now.
license plate, right? I never.
No, I
couldn't
would
find
flip through
mine.
that thing at the
Never. So
general store.
disappointing. Yeah.
What was the origin
Yell
of
at my
Rembert?
mom. What?
Rembert.
Second, and then it was like my dad's doctor's name. So
It's a good one because you can shorten it. I like calling. I
Yeah.
only call you Rem. I never
Well,
call you
you
Rembert.
know, I used to hate that name because
I think it's strong.
yeah, but then people would go Bert,
You didn't
and I'd have
Oh,
to like
Bert's
try to
not
fight
good.
them,
That's
not
and
good.
I'd lose the fight
Bird's not good.
always. So yeah.
What made you decide to do the Twitter handle just going straight Rembert like Beyonce or
Oh,
Nene?
I didn't make that decision actually. I just woke up one morning and a certain person that works at Grantland,
David Cho?
David Cho, told me to check my Twitter, and it had been changed because he is
You
Illuminati.
changed it?
He's Illuminati.
It would be interesting if you just dropped your last name.
Like Prince?
Yeah.
Nah. Like Pitbull?
We're from Pitbull. Pitbull, the name of
That'd
this.
be good.
You need your version of this
I
for
do.
writing.
I'll work on it.
Maybe Rem Explains could be that. You blow it out. When you do it, you just have a gif of you doing this in the background. Yeah, there's I don't think there's any other Remberts that I know.
Yeah, I mean, I have a kind of a lock on the name right now, but that name will not be passed down.
We have a couple other guests today we're gonna have to split this up in a couple parts, but we have Tracy Morgan,
It's gonna be
who
fun.
you've known forever. What's your favorite Tracy Morgan story
He's a
that you won't
lunatic.
tell when he's here?
Oh, about 10 years ago. I'll tell. No, I can't tell that one. We had a long night in Dallas one night. Me, Tracy Morgan, my cousin Jimmy, and Tracy's friend Leroy, who he'd bring on the road with him. And just the guy could do no right. The guy, if he was saying, "Good job, Tracy," He's like, I don't need anybody to tell me I did a good job.
Right.
If he does his stand-up act, he's like, I didn't think that joke worked. He's like, don't tell me that joke. Like, the guy could do no right the whole time. So we're gonna have him talk about Leroy today.
You think Leroy's still around, or did he,
Around on
or
Earth?
Leroy killed himself?
Yeah, I don't know. It's touch and go. So I don't even know if I want to ask him about Leroy.
I remember when we were doing Jimmy's show the first year,
Yeah.
and we became famous for the green room, thanks to our friend Daniel.
Yeah.
And it just was a party every night. And like within the first couple weeks, Tracy Morgan, it was well after the show, shirtless.
Yeah.
He'd been on the show
Yes.
the night, shirtless, standing on a table, just dancing
Pool table. Yeah.
with this, and
That sounds
just I was like,
beautiful.
wow, this is kind of what I thought Hollywood would be.
We made it. Yeah.
I made it. There's a shirtless Tracy Morgan dancing with a whole bunch
And
of girls
here he is.
surrounding
Mama, I
him.
made
10
it.
years later, he's alive.
10 years later, he's
Doing this
alive.
show.
I actually would not have predicted that as
No.
I watched him dance shirtless on the table. But we have him. We have Justin Tuck.
Oh, they're gonna
And
say
then-
Timberlake.
And then
we got Justin T. Let's tell him we have Justin T
JT.
coming.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Justin
What do we have
Tuck has,
tomorrow, Jacoby? Oh, we have Joe House.
That's big.
Tomorrow we're doing Super Bowl props, and we're going to talk about house seats. House seats is happening on Saturday. It's the biggest house seats ever. It's House versus Sal.
My first one. I'm excited.
And there's
Simmons
been
is changing all the rules to
Haven't
tell.
changed
to
any of the
tell
rules.
Well, because there are no rules, but anything,
There are rules.
anything we
They've all been
propose,
tailored.
Simmons is like, that's not how House does it. He doesn't do it like that. Anything poor Jacoby is put on the table. It's like,
I just
no,
want to make
can't
sure.
be like that.
I think you're a heavy favorite, and I want to make sure House has a fair chance.
Well, I'm an underdog. Of course, you can actually bet this. I'm a slight underdog to House, but
the betting public thinks they're an underdog, but
Right.
that doesn't mean they're correct.
I know.
In my opinion, you're the heavy favorite.
I know what you're trying to do. It's
So
not over.
if we do rounds or whatever, you then reverse jinx
Yeah,
again?
yeah,
No, you
100%.
don't.
How can I reverse jinx your intestine?
I don't know. It's working now.
Your drive. Yeah.
It's already jinxed.
But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have judges.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep bringing food out until nobody can eat anymore, and then people are gonna judge the performance.
Okay.
And if near the end you're still eating and House is like, I'm done, I can't do anymore, and you're like, I'm still hungry, and you keep eating, that's
Yeah.
part of the performance.
All right.
And it's like figure skating. We go to each judge, and the judge says, here's who I thought won and
Good.
why.
That's
And-
what I want it to be, like figure skating.
That's,
Yeah. That's what I always envisioned it would be like.
It's figure eating.
Yeah.
So it's good. I think that's the right move. Remember, you're gonna be a judge.
I am. I'm wearing a tuxedo.
Are you
I
wearing a
hope, I hope
tuxedo?
so. I need to rent one. But
You
they-
could be
they
bought,
can-
remember, right? How much?
Oh,
You could be bought.
Yeah, like
Nothing.
yeah, some land at the Riverwalk. I don't know, just like.
He's wearing a surprise party hat on right
Yeah.
now. What is that? What's on the back of that?
I don't know. This seems like inappropriate. My mom probably doesn't like this. I don't know. It's leather though.
Is this one of our sponsors?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I know. It's kind of a nice hat. I was had a bad hair day.
Well, we've treated Sal first class from the get-go.
Yes.
He got a 1:40 a.m. flight today that connected through Memphis.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, there is a 1:40 a.m. flight from LAX to Memphis, so
You might have screwed up your
it's gonna
travel
be
a
a
little
hot
bit
ticket
late.
item. Yeah, and then I got from Memphis to New Orleans from 7:05 to.
Can we talk
8:50.
about our cousin Jimmy, whose show
Hold on.
went to 11:35?
Yeah.
And the Matt Damon hosted the show. Was it last week or was it 2 weeks ago? Last week.
Last Thursday.
And probably the most buzzed about show in the history of the show.
yeah. Did
Matt
well.
Damon took over the show, tied up Jimmy.
They have a pretend feud where Jimmy at the end of every show says, apologies to Matt Damon, we ran out of time. And of course we did. It just seemed like a funny thing to say. And then he said, he's been saying it for the last 7 or 8 years. So now the joke is that Matt Damon's tried to get on the show.
They made Matt Damon so mad that he
Right.
kidnapped Jimmy,
Hijacked.
took over the show. And
Right.
the list of guests,
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about it. At one point, Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah.
Demi Moore, and Amy Adams and Nicole Kidman were all on the
Pretty
couch
good.
as props, basically,
Yeah.
for this Matt Damon show. And in 2003, we literally would have murdered somebody in Hollywood Boulevard to have one of those people for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I think we would have killed like Spider-Man to have Nicole Kidman.
We
for
would have. We
10
would have killed
minutes.
to have Amy Adams, and she was nothing.
And
back
she
then.
was in Cruel Intentions
Right.
too. She would have been our
Yeah.
lead guest in October 2003.
And Robin Williams, Ben Affleck.
Oh my God.
Cheryl Crow. Was on
It was
one.
just Cheryl Crow's the band leader. Andy
Yeah.
Garcia was the.
Andy
I mean,
Garcia put a great Guillermo.
It was just really funny how it came full circle. But he's doing well in the ratings.
I don't know if this is wood, but yeah, it's come a lot faster than we had thought. So Hopefully
Pretty
it keeps
exciting.
going. I don't even like talking about it. I get nervous, but
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, after 3 weeks, it's not
Yeah, let's
it's not
just
an
say it is what it
aberration
is.
anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about him though.
You are? Well,
Yeah, I think this is the Scarface part of Scarface when
Oh, no.
when he buys the tiger.
Wow.
Remember?
Yeah.
That's
Did that montage like
Right.
push it to the limit. He's like running around. He's got a Ferrari. He's got a tiger. Yeah, he's gonna be pricing tigers.
That'd be good.
Pretty soon he'll be doing something crazy like building chickens. Oh wait, he's doing that already. He's building
He's got
a chicken
lot
coop.
going on. He's
got a
getting
lot going
married.
on.
It's gonna be fun.
He's getting married, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he's basically this is coming at the expense of Letterman.
Yeah,
At least
I know.
so far. It's been a little bittersweet.
It's bittersweet. I mean, ideally, you wanted us to come in second, Letterman to come in first, and Leonard to come in third, but it doesn't look
Or
like
fourth.
that's happening. Yeah, or fourth.
If that could even happen.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Seems
who's
like
on
he wounded Letterman with the ratings.
We had Magic Johnson on last night, and Jimmy tried to start trouble between Magic and Matt Damon. And he showed him a clip of Matt Damon saying, Jimmy Kimmel is to late night television what Magic Johnson is to late night television. And Jimmy's like, what do you think of that, Magic? Well, we got to get this guy. He's like, you know what? He's exactly right. I was terrible.
Yes. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
We've been doing TV now for 3 months, and he's my best friend in the world now.
He is, right?
But I have not brought up the talk show
You have to. For like
at some point.
for me. I just want to know his opinion.
He
on
seems
it.
okay with it.
The only thing I'm really waiting for, like
Didn't
so.
you interview him for like an hour and a half before all this NBA?
Yeah.
You didn't bring it up
We
then?
get along really well. I love
Yeah.
Magic. But some people in his life call him Buck, which is like his Laker nickname.
Oh yeah.
So it's like people either call him Irvin, Magic, or Buck. When you're in Buck, it's like that's when the nightclub rope opens up and you get in the secret Magic Friend nightclub.
You would even like to get to Irvin, right? I mean, you have to call him Magic.
I call him
still.
Magic.
You
I
have to.
can't call him Irvin. He
That's
just
not
had
gonna
his
What
Right.
scenario would you call I don't
So
Yeah.
I don't know how the Buck things works, but I'm waiting for him to be like right before the playoffs, like put his arm around me, like I gotta tell you something. I want you to start calling me Buck.
you just start
And I'll just start crying. Thanks, Magic. Okay, but I mean Buck. Thanks, Buck.
Who have you heard call him? But like, can you narrow it down? Like,
So Jalen calls him Buck.
He does?
If we have like an
What is
NBA player
Wilbur?
on
Are
there,
you the only one that?
Wilbur calls him Irvin.
He does?
calls
You're
him
the only
Irvin.
one that calls him Magic.
It might be a black only nickname. I'm not positive,
I'm not saying I've called him Buck.
but you'd feel very comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point maybe.
Buck Johnson.
I mean, at first I have to meet him. So I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you
but,
should meet
know,
him
I
first.
should
You know
meet
why
him
he's
first.
called Buck? Because Kareem called him Young Buck when he was like
Oh, is that
20.
what it is? Yeah.
And they shortened it to Buck, and then it became a thing. Like he was publicly Magic, but he was privately Buck. But he's
No.
involved in a lot of. He owns the Dodgers now. He runs all his businesses.
Crazy. The theaters, the
And he actually
CGA
knows what's
Fridays.
going on. Like he'll be on these conference calls and phones and like
Yeah.
reading reports, and it's like, wow, you actually
Yeah.
are in
The
this.
real business.
But yeah, the Dodgers thing was like one of the great business moves anyone's made. They bought it for 2.1 million. They're gonna get like 7 billion from
Yeah.
7 billion from the TV rights. They own all the land. It's pretty smart.
You're just trying to
Magic.
get free tickets to when
Well,
the Red Sox come to town.
that's part of it. Red Sox, Dodgers.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like Bird went the opposite direction. Bird is living on a golf course in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just totally retired, and that's it. He's out.
Yeah.
He's done. He's like, I made my money. I saved it. I'm on the golf course. That's it.
It bums you out that he's that cool, Magic, right?
Yeah, I'm a
when
little
you-
bummed.
Is
I
that-
didn't want to like him this
Is
much.
that the biggest one of those?
Oh, yeah.
That you're
It's a weird thing to. I just hated the Lakers so much.
Yeah.
And still kind of do.
Right.
And it's weird that.
like if Roger Clemens started following you on Twitter, or who would be
I
a
don't think I
better
could ever
example?
like Clemens
No. No.
after what he did. What athlete have you turned on the most
Let me think about it.
from
for
your
a second.
past? Is there a cowboy?
Well, I had that thing with Emmitt Smith, who that worked the other way. I was a huge Emmitt Smith fan, and he was a dick to me at the Super Bowl. I'm gonna cry. Now I'm gonna cry now. Yeah.
This is a tough story.
Yeah.
They used Emmett for this JKO bit, and he was just a jerk.
Really?
And Sal was like devastated. He was
It
his
was
favorite
awful.
player.
Was his pose
He had
dancing with
Emmett's
his
number and like
No,
his
it was
email
before.
address.
This is pre-dancing.
What Super Bowl was it? It was
I think it was the
Steelers,
Jacksonville one.
No, it was Steelers. Seattle.
later?
We went to
Oh,
Detroit. We
I
went
didn't
to
say I didn't go
Detroit.
to that one.
Yeah.
And Sal was devastated.
Quick story. I was doing a hidden camera, and the idea is I'm the handler of the athlete, and they're gonna come on and they're gonna meet the fans, and we're gonna make it like we have conditions. So Mr. Smith won't take a picture with you unless you're looking up at the sky, or you have to wash your feet before shaking hands with Mr. Smith. And he read all the beats and he thought it was funny. He's like, I'm doing this. According to his agent, he said, I'm doing this. They mic him up. He gets there. And now there's 150 people waiting to meet him. And he's like, no way, I'm not doing this. I get $50 per autograph. I'm like, uh-oh. So I convince him. I'm like, please do this. There's people waiting. He's like, I'll give you 5 minutes. So we're going through it, and he's laughing. He's doing this, and people are getting weirded out. But afterwards, they're getting to meet him, and it's fine. It's working for everybody. And he's like, I'm leaving. I told you that's it. He's like, I don't do my fans like that. And I said, what are you talking about? You're here, and they're getting to meet you, and we're just punking him a little. He's like, I don't do my fans like that. I'm like, yeah, but what's worse? That you're going to leave, and now these people don't even get to, 100 people don't get to me. He's like, I said I'm done. And he rips his mic off.
He dropped the mic?
Oh, he dropped the mic, and I dropped my
hard.
heart. That was it. So sad. Moral of the story, don't get close to your idols. That's why I'm worried about you and Pitbull. I'm worried about you.
Well, Kimmel somehow has befriended everybody he ever loved as a kid.
It really is.
With mixed results. There's been fly fishing with Huey Lewis,
Pretty
which was
good.
good.
Yeah, we're actually going in April.
There was Letterman ordering everybody out of his dressing room.
Yeah, but he loves Letterman. Letterman loves it.
Will you tell that story about our agent, James Baby Doll Dixon, and Letterman?
Our agent, James Baby Doll Dixon, claims he knows everybody, and everybody knows him.
He'll meet somebody once. And these are famous people who meet people all the time, who every person they meet will remember the moment for the rest of their life. And he thinks, so he's like, come on, we met back 7 years ago, or whatever. Like this person, oh yeah.
So when Letterman's on our show, we did shows from Brooklyn. He forces his way into the dressing room. He's like, Dave, you remember me? And Dave's like, who is this guy? He's like, oh, stop pretending not to know me. Stop pretending. And Jimmy's like, what? Are you calling Dave a liar? And Letterman, who likes almost no human contact with anybody before, during, or after the show, it's like, I think it's time for everyone to leave the dressing room. He kicked everyone out.
Then when he met Oprah, when Oprah did bits for Jimmy's show.
Oh, Dixon,
He's like, Oprah! Well, tell that story.
I forgot what it was, but he's like, yeah, I'm going to Africa too. I know you set up schools there. And she's like,
that was like his opener.
That's how he did.
That's the worst.
She's like, where are you going in Africa? He's like, oh, I don't effing know. All I know is it's costing like $90,000.
That's the
so
worst.
He was boxing out other people trying to talk to her. And then claiming after that he had to do that way because nobody was talking to her.
Yeah, he felt everyone was sticking around.
He's a maniac. Right now he quit smoking, and he went to a smoking clinic.
Yeah, he went to smoke away camp.
To stop smoking. And now he's smoking these electronic cigarettes.
Oh, those are,
I was listening to our friend Carson, who's done a lot of research on it. Those things are supposed to be terrible for you.
The electronic cigarettes?
Like the vapors?
Not as bad. Yeah, the vapor isn't exactly, oxygenated mist. It's got other crap in it too.
Oh, seriously?
Just as many chemicals.
It's like your lungs live, but your kidneys just like fall out.
Yeah. And there's trace elements in nicotine.
He was there for Jimmy's Hollywood Walk of Fame thing, the Hollywood Star.
Yeah.
And we're having lunch. We're sitting it's like an outdoor restaurant. And he's smoking the thing. He's like trying to get the smoke out of it. And he can't.
So
he just takes that and throws it out of the street. I'm like, who litters? Nobody litters anymore. My agent. My career's in his hands. Whips an electronic cigarette on La Brea Boulevard. Cars are
Aren't they
swerving.
like metal too? Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sal does this thing every year called the Character of the Year, like just for people in our circle, and he should win every year.
I can go 30 pages on him and our friend
Brad. And Brad.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it should be him or Brad.
Yeah.
But neither of them won this year.
No, our friend Doug DeLuca. He's got a crazy marriage.
Does he know that he won?
He knows that he won. He won't tell his wife. He and his wife won. There's a dual award.
but she doesn't know.
She doesn't
know she's a winner?
She wouldn't really understand. No. But Dixon, one of his lines, the one that you like the most, I think, is when Dick Clark died, he sent an email, said, the best news I've heard all week. Why? What could you possibly... What? Dick Clark probably didn't recognize him 40 years ago or something.
Dick Clark crossed him.
You love that.
Dixon.
That's
great news, Dixon.
All week.
It's a slow week.
Dixon. We never know if he's doing his emails or if it's his assistant.
Yeah.
So it's always dicey. But whenever we know it's Dixon, because Dixon will just type back like these short sentences. And he always will send, yeah, really. So you can, and it works for any situation, negative, positive. You'd be like, hey, Jimmy, those ratings are great. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Sarcastic comment. He comes back, yeah, really.
Yeah.
But I think it's just on his like speed type.
And if he gets
like an automatic template.
Yeah.
Right, if he gets involved in an email chain of like 15 responses and he's in late, he has to respond to each one of the 15, even though the ship is long sailed.
It's 7
even
hours
if it's,
later.
Yeah, really? You're like, yeah, that's right.
One of the other
Sounds
funny
right.
things about him is he is a gigantic Tiger fan.
Tiger. Oh, Tiger Woods, yeah.
He stayed with Tiger
Oh, yeah.
all the way through. Like, he gained love for Tiger during the whole
Yeah,
thing.
really?
He watches golf every week. He loves Tiger. And
is strange.
I don't know how many, like, diehard Tiger fans there are now. Because remember, like, in 08, how gigantic he was?
You're right, it
Yeah,
has picked up
I think
since then.
people like when he's good, but I don't think people... Like, if you ask the average person who's your favorite athlete, I don't think anybody would say Tiger.
I wonder
at
if
this
it's
point.
Would
just
have
like,
said that in 07 though.
07, 08 you
Yeah.
would have, yeah. But it's like almost he pushed everyone
But it
off
wasn't
the
like
bandwagon.
personality driven. It was.
I was just going to say,
Nah.
personalities aside, I think golfers appreciate some things he does that we probably couldn't. Like big time golf
Oh, because
fan.
Dixon golfs.
Yeah, he's a big golfer.
Yeah, he belongs to 7 country clubs. So we're going to part 2, Justin Tuck and Tracy Morgan, live from the Bud Light Hotel. We should thank our friends at Diageo,
Oh, yeah.
who helped put up the combatants for House Eats.
Oh, they did,
Sal
right?
and
Yeah.
House.
Oh, good.
They got you hotel rooms. It was tough to find hotel rooms.
They did, yeah.
There's no.
Diageo helped us out.
There's no hot tub in your room.
There's no, I can't believe it. Joe, he says there's a hot tub in his living room.
So we're going to part
Look at him, he's
2.
never looked more like Yoko Ono.
Tracy
right?
Morgan has shown up.
What's he doing?
That's the end of part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Tracy Morgan, Justin Tuck.
Oh, good.
So I get to sign off. Whoa!
Thank you for downloading the BS Report with Bill Simmons.
Too much fun.
Check out more podcasts at the iTunes Music Store or at Pod Center at ESPNradio.com.
Peace out.